We deal in evidence on this show, direct, circumstantial, and otherwise. But paranormal, that doesn't make it into court. And yet, if any place ever had the right to be haunted, Fox Hollow Farm it is. My next guest is an author and paranormal expert who spent years researching the Herb Baumeister murders for his book, The Horrors of Fox Hollow Farm, Unraveling the History and Hauntings of a Serial Killer's Home. Richard Estep, welcome to this special edition of Banfield. It's good to have you here. When did you first hear about this story, and when did you make a connection to paranormal activity?
I first heard about this story on a TV show called Ghost Adventures, which had paid a visit, found some unusual things. And as you said, if any location has the right of being haunted, it's Fox Hollow Farm. So I reached out to the current owners and asked if I could go and investigate to try and uncover the secrets of the farm for myself.
So it's such a bizarre notion that that pool, which every time you see the picture is so creepy with the mannequin staged all around it. That pool still exists today, and the family that bought this home, they still swim in that pool. But you have unearthed some information about things that they've discovered and that they've had happen while swimming in the pool. Tell me the story.
Absolutely. Well, their lodger, Joe, swam in the pool with the boys of the family, the teenage boys, and he was attacked and dragged under the water. In the way he described it to me during our witness interview, Ashleigh, it was reminiscent of the opening scene from the movie Jaws. Something closed around his neck and then pulled him under the water, some unseen force. And there was nobody within touching distance of him when this happened. So he came out of the pool at high speed and was very reluctant to swim in it again. And that's why I had to get in there myself as part of my investigation and had my own sinister experience in that pool.
I'm going to ask about that next, but I wanted to stay with this one for a moment because the teenage boys of the family that lives there now, they were in the pool at the same time that Joe, the lodger, the guy who was staying there, had this, he said he had this happen to him. What did the teenagers say happened at the other end of the pool?
They were at the opposite end of the pool, so they were nowhere near him. It couldn't have been them. They thought he was clowning around. They thought he was pranking, but Joe was terrified. As soon as he surfaced and realized there was no one within distance of him, well, who could that have been that attacked him? And it was an attack.
But then, so you, having heard this, decided, I got to get in that pool for myself. Walk me through what happened.
So it's an extremely cold pool. The owner was very nice to give me access, but wouldn't heat the pool, which cost hundreds of dollars. It's as cold as I've ever been in my life. We played what we were told by Mark Goodyear was Herb's favorite song, which was Blue Bayou by Linda Ronstadt. Didn't hear anything at the time, but when I played back the recording of the recorders we had dispersed around the pool, a male voice whispered in a very clear, very sinister way, a single word. The word was Laura. And that happened to be my wife's name.
Is that something in your business you call an EVP, an electronic voice phenomena?
It is. These are voices which occur on recordings that you don't hear at the time, but on playback, extra voices of people who weren't present not only turn up, but they appear to be saying meaningful things to you.
So you heard a male voice, or on the tape, you heard a male voice saying your wife's name, Laura, but when you were in the pool, you did not hear that at all.
No, neither did any of the other researchers that were around the pool. And none of them said my wife's name because we checked the other recorders, didn't turn up on the one recorder only. So that's classic EVP for you.
So let's talk about what, what you recorded. And this one is a little more freaky. I played it during the tease, going out to the break before this segment, and I'm going to play it again. This was, correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, you were going out into the woods where you believed a lot of the carnage had happened. And once again, you were making an audio recording. I'm not sure if you heard it or if you just heard it on the recording, again, as an EVP, but something said, a male voice said the words, either get away from there or get out of here. Is that accurate?
It is, and nobody was saying those words at the time. Clearly, it's not my voice. I have an accent. And most interesting of all to me was I didn't pick that spot randomly. This had been a spot I'd been guided to by none other than Mr. Mark Goodyear.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.